Kent moved to the top of the South Group after bagging their 8th win in the NatWest T20 Blast with a resounding 22-run win over Somerset at Canterbury, thanks largely to an opening stand between Daniel Bell-Drummond and Joe Denley of 112. The visitors won the toss and put the Spitfires into bat, and Denley showed his intentions early on when he took Abdur Rahman, who was on early in the third over, for the game's first maximum. The first 4 overs were all bowled by different bowlers, but Bell-Drummond and Denley didn't appear to be fazed as they went about their merry way. Denley picked up his second maximum in the 6th over, this time off Tim Groenewold, to see the home side to 45 for no wicket at the end of the power play overs. Overs 7 to 10 saw the run rate going along at just below 8, and it also saw Denley reach his 50 with a 4 off Jamie Overton. It had taken him 35 balls and included 6 fours and 2 sixes. The Spitfires had taken the score to 86 at the start of the 12th over and were on 97 by the end of it, Max Waller going for 11 runs, Bell-Drummond clearing the rope. The 100 was up in the 13th over, and so too was Bell-Drummond's 50. It had come off 36 balls and included 4 fours and that's 6. If these two could stay in a bit longer, a huge total was on the cards. Kent had some power hitters to come, and with the foundation laid by the openers, it was looking ominous for Somerset. The breakthrough came eventually in the 14th over, however. Denley on 61 found Overton off the bowling of Jim Allenby, and his brilliant partnership with Bell-Drummond came to an end on 112. As the old saying goes, one brings two, and that's exactly what happened, as in the next over, Alex Blake was bowled by Overton, having faced only 2 balls. Bell-Drummond took Overton for 2 fours to finish off the over, and that meant Kent with 125 for 2 at the end of the 15th. The opener, who bagged 100 against the touring Australians a couple of weeks ago, was starting to open up, and he was rattling along with Sam Northeast. The pair took the score to 114 at the end of the 17th over, and it looked like the Spitfires were on course to post a very competitive score for their visitors. Alfonso Thomas had other ideas. He came on for the death overs and used all his experience and the brilliant athleticism of Peter Trigo to get the wicket of Northeast. The skipper went for 7, but that brought in England's Sam Billings, and he didn't hang around, climbing into Overton and taking 3 fours off the penultimate over to leave Kent on 166 for 3 with 1 over to go. And what an over it was too. Thomas bowled Bell-Drummond with his first ball, the opener not able to carry his bat, but he did put his side in a great position with 77 off 51 balls. The second ball went for 4, before the third saw Matt Cole's hole out to Waller in the deep. A couple of singles followed before the final ball had Fabian Cowdrey coming back for a second, only to be sent back and Rahman and Luke Ronke doing the rest to leave the Spitfires on 173 for 6 off their 20 overs. Thomas finishing with figures of 3 for 28 from his 4 overs. Allenby opened up with Johan Myberg, and the visitors were in need of a good start. A couple of Myberg boundaries had taken Somerset to 18 off the first 2 overs, but the third saw Kent get their first breakthrough, Mitch Claydon continuing his superb form in the T20 Blast to bowl the South African for 16. Allenby has had a fairly good season with the bat for the visitors, and his side were now looking to him to get the run rate up. He dispatched Claydon over the ropes in the 5th over, and by the end of the power play, Somerset were 40 for 1. It was a crucial stage of the game for both sides, and whichever side grabbed the ball by the horns would put themselves in a good position. That side turned out to be Kent. James Treadwell had Allenby caught by Coles in the 7th over for 15, and in the next over, Darren Stevens had James Hildreth stumped by Billings for a duck. That was followed up 4 balls later with the big wicket of Trigo. Once again, Stevens combined with Billings behind the stumps, and the visitors found themselves on 57 for 4 after 9 overs. Somerset's night was summed up 2 overs later when Tommy Cooper was run out backing up, Cowdrey getting his hand on the ball. Into the 13th over, and Somerset required 103 runs to win from 48 balls. Groenewold tried to up the rate, but Cowdrey got the better of him, and he was bowled for 2. Wickets were falling all too quickly for the visitors. Overton tried to make a game of it, hitting his first ball for 6, but when Ronke was caught by Coles off Cowdrey in the 15th over, the writing was very much on the wall. Overton hit another 6, but fell to Callum Haggett, Coles taking his 3rd catch of the game in the 18th over. Haggett followed that up 4 balls later with a wicket of Waller for 6, and that left Somerset needing 61 off the last 2 overs with 1 wicket remaining. Haggett finishing with figures of 2 for 12 off his 2 overs. A tight over from Claydon left the visitors needing an impossible 57 off the last over, but the visitors went down in a blaze of glory. Roman decided to give it the kitchen sink and took Coles for 3 sixes and 2 fours. Coles bowled 3 no balls to make it a 9-ball over, and it meant the final over went for 33 runs. It was a lot closer than it should have been, but Kent did secure the victory by 22 runs, and that sees them move to the top of the South Group table, and Somerset pretty much out of the running for a semi-final spot. Kent have a trip to Cheltenham on Sunday to take on Gloucestershire, while Somerset are next in action next Friday against Surrey.